Walking is one of the most repetitive movements we do every day, but it's also one of the most underrated when it comes to assessing muscle patterns. Behind an altered gait, there can be hidden compensations, misalignments, and inefficient muscle activations that compromise function and increase the risk of injury, especially in the knee and hip. In this guide, you'll find detailed information on which thigh muscles are most involved in walking, what their ideal synergy should look like, what happens when this synergy is disrupted, and how you can objectively detect it using surface electromyography. If you work with patients who have knee pain, recurrent injuries, or gait dysfunction, this information will change the way you assess and treat them. Request more information through the link in the description and learn how to integrate electromyography into your gait assessment to design truly personalized and effective treatments. During the gait cycle, several thigh muscles are activated at key moments to ensure a stable and efficient movement. First, the semitendinosus is activated at the end of the swing phase and is essential for slowing the leg and preparing for stance, facilitating hip extension and knee flexion. Second, its counterpart, the biceps femoris. It complements the semitendinosus in the final phase of the swing, stabilizing the knee before ground contact. Third, the vastus lateralis. It is activated at the end of the stance phase, helping to control knee extension and decelerate the thigh. Fourth, the vastus medialis. It works together with the lateralis to maintain knee alignment and stability during stance. And fifth, the rectus femoris, which is mainly active during the takeoff phase. It helps extend the knee and propel the body forward. The ideal muscle synergy in functional gait should follow this sequence. Semitendinosus is activated more than biceps femoris, which is more than vastus lateralis, which is more than vastus medialis, and finally rectus femoris. This pattern ensures that the hamstrings lead the control at the end of the swing phase and in preparation for stance, while the quadriceps take on a stabilizing role during stance and a propulsive role in the final phase. When this synergy is disrupted, movement becomes less efficient and an overload occurs, which over time can lead to injury. Let's also look at the risks of quadriceps dominance. When the quadriceps dominate activation over the hamstrings, joint balance and gait safety are compromised. This pattern can lead to knee instability, especially at the moment of initial contact. Patellofemoral overload due to increased pressure on the knee joint. Increased risk of anterior cruciate ligament injury, since the hamstrings play a protective role by stabilizing the tibia during stance. Now let's look at a real clinical case. We are going to analyze a patient with knee pain. During the assessment with electromyography, the following pattern is observed. Here, the rectus femoris leads the activation, followed by the vastus medialis, then the vastus lateralis, then the semitendinosus, and finally the biceps femoris. This order reflects a clear dominance of the quadriceps and insufficient activation of the hamstrings, which should be corrected to improve motor control. In fact, let's compare it with a normal gait pattern. Notice what the ideal pattern looks like. It matches what we've described: semitendinosus, biceps femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and rectus femoris. If you compare both cases, you can see that the hamstrings in the normal pattern are activated twice as much as in the case with knee pain. The rectus femoris in the patient with pain is activated 5 times more than in the healthy pattern. Therefore, if you have patients with gait disturbances, you need to ask yourself these 3 questions. Do these patients have visible or subtle alterations when walking? Do you know which muscles are not functioning properly during gait? Does this affect the effectiveness of your treatment? Not knowing how those muscles work? If you answered yes to any of these questions, it's time to integrate tools like electromyography to detect and correct these imbalances. See you in the next post.